Hi, everybody. My name is Jeanette Pierce, and I'm going to be your guide on this tour entitled Detroit in Context, Assets, History, and Challenges. We have some of the best museums in the country, if not the world, and that's not just me saying that. And I think a lot of times we take them for granted as people who live here. It's like, oh yeah, the DIA. Yeah, went to and field trips when I was a kid, and or I've been a couple times. But we don't really always realize just the amazingness of some of these museums. So of course there is the Detroit Institute of Arts pictured here in the center, and their Diego Rivera mural or fresco, the New York Times art critic said it was the closest thing America has to the Sistine Chapel. So that's not me saying, hey, that's cool. That's really uh, people who know art saying how important it is. But we also invested heavily in art when we had more money than anybody over 100 years ago. And so we had the first Van Gogh in a US museum, and we have Picasso's and Renoirs and places from every single area of the world as well, Africa and Asia. It's an encyclopedic museum, and it is just absolutely amazing. And it is open right now too, which is a good time to go see it. With slower when you're kind of not having as many options of things to do. So if you haven't been lately, definitely put that on your list. And the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History is the largest one like it in the world. Well, it was until the Smithsonian copied off of us. But our team here from the Smithsonian helped the Smithsonian open, actually. And the Detroit Historical Museum won actually the let me get this right, exactly, the National Medal for Museum and Library Science, which is the nation's highest honor for institutions that make significant and exceptional contributions to their communities. So it is such an amazing museum, even though it's smaller than a Detroit Institute of Arts or even a Charles H. Wright. It actually is just chock full of amazing content and programming. And the Detroit 67 exhibit is really unparalleled, working with the community, and it is still up to date. And then it went on to get second place internationally as well. So that is still able to be seen, and it's really important for as many people to see that exhibit especially. The Science Center, I always say, is not just for kids, so it is great for kids, but adults can learn a lot and have a lot of fun at the Science Center too. And then there's this little house called Hitsville, USA, otherwise known as Motown Museum. And this one is where I get this a lot. People look behind them and they lean in and they whisper, "I've never been to the Motown Museum." I get that a lot from Detroiters. It's normal. We're all creatures of habit. We, stay on our side of town. We do the kind of the same things, which is why we might not have visited some of those restaurants on that list. And it's also why we might not do things that some consider tourist, but they're actually really important stories that are told at all of our museums that it's really important for locals to know. Really quick, Berry Gordy borrowed $800 from his parents in 1959 to buy this house. He turned the garage into the recording studio, and the rest is literally history. And we'll talk a little bit more about that too. But now is the time to go as well, because they are undergoing an amazing $50 million expansion, and which they're still taking donations for. If you want to help that happen, which is it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful expansion. But it's also is going to change the feel a little bit of this quaint, relatively small museum right now. So get there. I'm telling everyone to get there before construction and the expansion happens.